Hey everybody, welcome to the PowerCast live with you every Tuesday night. Thank you so much for joining me in the hot seat with our friend Eric Vasquez. He's back from last week's crazy day of real estate. He's back in the saddle. So happy to see you, my friend.
I was sick.
Okay, he was sick. He was working. He was doing a lot of things over here.
I was working, but I was sick.
I knew you were working. He always works, whether he's sick or not sick, that's for sure. But more importantly, we have a very special guest in the show today, in the saddle, in the hot seat. Return guest, live from Goody's Hardware, Robbie Katz. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, my friend.
Dave, it's good to be back.
America and the world is watching you. There are more people watching you than it was last year when you were on the show. You have TikTok Nation, Instagram, Facebook. You've got YouTube. You got what do you call it? LinkedIn Live, Twitter. You've got Twitch. You've got we're on Spotify.
Anchor's not on your list, by the way.
Anchor, Google Podcast. You're on Apple Podcast. Every one of your friends, family members, and employees at Goody's is watching you, and all of the people who come into Goody's, which are thousands of people a day, and a week, and a month, and a year. You know what I want to ask you is, Robbie Katz, do you know how many people come in on average a day or a week into your store?
A good guess is probably 400 to 500 a day.
That's pretty crazy. Do some quick math on that. So
but we're open 10 hours a day. It's a long day.
That's an average business day, though. I would say 8 to 10 hours. And the retail, small mom and pop shops are open later, probably, because they work harder, I think.
It's a long day. It's 7 to 5:30, Monday to Friday.
Well, we just got the hours. So the next question was, one of your hours when you work?
That's a great question. Sunday's a short day, which I love. It's 8 to 12. Monday to Friday is 7 to 5:30, and Saturday's a shortened day, 7 to 5.
So you're open 7 days a week?
Correct.
That's just amazing. And not only open 7 days
helpful.
Very helpful. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the reviews online. There are so many amazing reviews about your store, and what people have to say about working with you. They talk a lot about Dave. They talk a lot about Dave because Dave's in the shop, right?
Correct.
And Dave has got the charisma and the personality that just blows people away. But anybody in the outside world gets to know you. We're going to talk more about you and the commercial side of it. Let's go into that first. So I have a bunch of questions for America to know and want. They've been asking me. So the hours of operations are basically 7 days a week. Sundays, your hours are from like 7 to 12.
No. 8 to 12.
8 to 12, sorry. 8 to 12 on Sundays. Otherwise, he's open from 7:30. Exactly.
Get what you need and then get home and watch football.
So,
that is true.
But during the week, it's 7:30 to...
No. 7 to 5:30.
7 to 5:30 during the week. How often do you get people calling you up before you're going to close and say, oh my God, Robbie or David, I need to get so-and-so. Can you stay open for me?
I'm on the Q Bridge and I need a plunger. I hear that quite often.
Oh my God. How crazy is that?
People need hardware. People need food, people need hardware.
They definitely, and you know what, speaking of a plunger, so on a Sunday or Saturday, I'm in the house and we have some friends over and I hear, oh my God, the toilet's overflowing. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm in with the plunger and I'm hitting it. Usually 1 or 2 times and the thing goes down. Oh no, it's not going down. And I'm like, what did we flush down here? You know, my daughter, she's 4.5 years old. For all I know, it's a cell phone. Could have been a Barbie doll. I have no idea. I still to this day don't know what happened. So what do? I open up the back of the toilet, and I think to myself, let me
The
pick
back of the toilet? The tank?
the tank.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, let me pick up the little flap over there. Oh, that was the wrong answer. Because what happens? All the water starts coming out even more.
Well, that's what the tank does. It fills the bowl.
I wasn't thinking. How do you make the water go down?
Apparently.
Completely messed it up. All you plumbers out there who are watching, you know, and so does Goody employees know, when the toilet is full of water and you pick up the back tank of the toilet, don't lift the flap up because only more water is going to come out. So that being said, I get to my plunger and the girl that's with us, staying, a friend of ours, she's like, this is the worst plunger I've ever seen. Now it's the standard orange plunger, which I think is the best one. Is there a better plunger?
Well,
how many different kind of plungers are there?
They make better ones called a force cup. It's black, the inside folds out and it creates a little better suction.
They sell that at VIP, I think, also.
I don't know, I don't go there.
So it's called a force cup?
Force cup plunger.
So explain to me about a force cup plunger, please. What's it look like?
It's usually black. It's kind of like a cone shape.
Yeah.
And there's an internal part that flops down, so when you put it into the toilet, it creates a vacuum seal. So when you start pushing on it, the air forces right down. It doesn't spread out.
I need one.
So
of
you
those.
just have the traditional plunger that just
The
opens
cheap
up
one.
and then.
He has a $2 plunger.
I
You
have
need a
the-
$7 plunger.
You know what? Honestly, I didn't realize.
So you have the old 1950s useless plunger.
Apparently, it's a useless plunger. I thought it was the greatest plunger ever because it was so simple. I never had a problem with it.
Well, You're
that-
gonna find a new plunger in your mailbox tomorrow.
I appreciate that. The black one with the
Force cup.
forced cup.
Yes.
I'm sure I saw that at VIP. Not that I go shopping there for Christmas. Oh, Eric's going to show us what this looks like over here. All right, so in your store, you carry
Yes.
a lot of different kind of products. And let's talk about your store a little bit. Oh, that's a pretty picture of that plunger. Is that the one?
That's it.
All right, we can show all of America what the, what's it called?
Forced cup plunger.
The forced cup plunger, everybody. If you haven't had one, I recommend you get one. Stay away from the one that I had because the one I used, the simple orange looking one, is not as powerful for sure. In
Correct.
those very uncertain times where you don't know what your daughter might have flushed in the toilet. That being said, so you have many different departments in your
Do
store.
you have a snake? I know you don't like snakes, but this is like a snake.
No,
Plumbing snake?
no.
You should.
Plumbing snake? Do you guys carry plumbing snakes?
We sell snakes. It might be a little difficult for you to operate though.
I'm for sure positive that
Yeah,
the
but don't
pipe.
they have the ones that you can just do by hand?
But we're talking about Dave.
I know. You'd have to wear gloves and, and the like, but
And we give him a YouTube video. How to do
In
it.
a life vest? What? I'm sorry. So with that being said, okay, so you have a lot of different kind of departments in your store. How many different departments do you? Well, first of all, how big is your store?
The store is the sales floor is 15,000 square feet. Then we have a very large warehouse in the back.
It's a pretty big store. Now, for people who don't understand what Goody's Hardware is, what is the location of Goody's Hardware? And please, if you don't mind sharing that with everybody.
Oh, our store is located in East Haven. It's 540 Main Street. It's about 1 mile into East Haven from New Haven, from the Cove area.
Excellent. And when you drive by Goody's, you won't realize how big this place is. You'll see a parking lot pretty full of cars in there typically, which is common. Which, by the way, reminds me, how many employees do you carry there?
We have about 18
Not
employees.
carry, they work
No,
for you.
I know what you mean. 18 employees.
18 employees.
Yes.
Now, the original Goomba that we can talk about is your dad, Danny.
Correct.
Danny Katz.
Yeah.
Still in the shop,
My father's 78 and he's still working 5 days a week.
five days a week,
God bless.
78 years old. He's the guy that you recognize his face from walking door. He always has a smile, for sure.
All the
And-
time.
And cracks jokes, by the way, just like Eric, I'll call. He's got that dry sense of humor. You don't expect it coming, boom, he hits you, and you fall down.
my sense of humor is dry.
Well, it's that unexpected humor. Is that not dry humor? What do you call that?
That's him, all right.
He's the punchline kind of guy.
Okay.
You hit him with out of nowhere. Dry is a good thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Unexpected humor. You're talking about something important.
I'm
all
no
of a sudden-
Steve Harvey, right?
All right. So you have how many different departments in your store?
We have about 15 different departments, plumbing, electrical, paint, lawn and garden, maintenance supplies. We got a lot of stuff.
You do have a lot of stuff. And as you walk through the different departments of the store, it's actually set up in a way, and we'll talk about the big box stores that compete with you, that people get lost in very often. Where in your place, it's set up much differently to me, that you almost know where you need to go based on what you see in front of you. Is that fair and reasonable?
Yeah, and we have 10 salespeople on the floor helping assist customers around the store.
And they're super knowledgeable. They're not just there to guide you. They really know their products.
Absolutely. Our employees take pride in giving great customer service. They walk people to exactly what they need and show them how to use the products.
So Eric has pulled up a handful of the different departments in your store. You have an automotive department, which I had no idea about.
But it's mostly clean supplies
So
and
clean your-
oils,
you
for
want to
the
clean
car.
your? Okay, that's good to know.
We're not selling engines and transmissions.
No, definitely not. That would be a whole different kind of. That would be like a Napa or something like that. I'm not even sure what Napa sells. Actually, I shouldn't say that. You have building supplies.
Correct.
You have electrical supplies,
What? Plumbing.
hardware, and power tools.
Yeah.
You have a lot of power tools.
Yeah, we got a lot. You need a saw?
I wouldn't know how to use a saw. I got a guy for that. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So
You're Jewish. You got a guy for everything.
I got a guy for that. I don't know how to use a saw. I'm not
I
that
don't
guy.
know that Dave knows the difference between, say, a reciprocating saw and a circular saw.
Well, I know that circular means it's round.
That is
So-
correct.
So that would
It
be
spins.
It spins.
Yes.
Right. Reciprocating means that the blade goes like this,
So that I wouldn't know. Reciprocating to me
like a
would be
sawzall. A
Sawzall.
sawzall would be a reciprocating saw.
All right.
Oh, you're-
Eric's very knowledgeable in a lot of things actually. Just not just real estate knowledgeable. He's worldly knowledgeable. I've learned a lot about Eric over the last 10 years, but he blows my mind all the time. Hardware and fasteners, what would that be considered?
Bolts, hardware,
Cabinet.
screws. You want to hang something, you want to
Okay.
mount something, fix a truck. We
Okay.
got all kinds of.
You have a
Supplies.
housewares department.
Yes, we do.
You've got lawn and garden.
Lawn and garden is very big in the spring. Scott's fertilizer, mulch.
Let's
Which
go.
is coming up.
It is coming up.
Spring's coming up.
As a matter of fact, let's go into the winter season because we've had one hell of a winter so far. It's been for most people in Connecticut fantastic, but for Goody's Hardware, probably not as great because we haven't had snow. So, and you do a lot with ice melt and shovels, you know. But there's another part to your business that we want to talk about is your commercial side,
That's good to talk about. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Dave.
and you
So-
are the commercial guy for Goody's
Well,
Hardware.
Thank you so much. So I'll elaborate for 1 minute. It's not snowing, unfortunately. I've done snow dances, and it's just not coming down this year. So, but in our business, when there's a normal winter, we're very busy between
Yes.
selling shovels, ice melt, heaters, insulation, heat tapes.
Wow.
It's a big business, and we're very busy.
So for all of you guys out there, when you're listening to what he's saying, you know, this place is so diverse and while they have a large scale group of items, they really get down to the nitty gritty. And you
Absolutely.
really make sure that your contractors are really being served and have everything they need to help repair homes.
That is correct. So, yes, we have great customer service. We have hard to find items. People come to us every day and they're like, I can't believe it. I've just gone to 5 places looking for these items. I should have come here first.
When someone is looking for something, for example, for their home, can they call you up and say, listen, Dave, Robbie, I'm looking for this item. Is it possible for you to get this for me? Is that something you ever
We
special
hear that
order?
all the time,
You do special orders?
all day long.
Special orders
We,
from a special kind of guy.
we hand that to Uncle Mike. He's special order Uncle Mike.
Special order Uncle Mike. Hey, Uncle Mike, I need to get a special order in. Tell me about your commercial, because you do a lot of big commercial
Yes.
business throughout all over Connecticut.
Okay, so 20 years ago, I had this vision that I wanted to grow the business. And I joined Ford Chamber of Commerce, and I started networking, and I had this idea that I should sell to facilities. And my family laughs at me and they say, which facilities did you go to today? So I sell to dozens of apartments and nursing homes and universities and private schools and municipalities, and I sell supplies. And people say, what are supplies? I say it's to maintain the buildings. It could be outside equipment, it could be plumbing, electrical, light bulbs, cleaning supplies.
You know, a lot of people who own, let's say, investment properties, they usually have a super. Condo companies have management companies, they have supers that go on site to fix things. And these guys will call Goody's Hardware because they know they can call an intimate person on the phone, get what they need to have ready, go pick it up, and go take care of their jobs. Or better than that, you guys deliver.
Yes, we have
They
5 delivery
deliver
trucks.
everything to you. What's the idea of the delivery? I mean, you probably have a lot of deliveries going out all the time.
About 50 a day.
50 deliveries a day.
It's a lot to handle.
Can you imagine this family business has the ability to deliver 50 deliveries a day? And this is major stuff over here we're talking
Yeah.
about.
So, no, we've been very busy. I go to a facility and I tell the people, I don't need to convince people to buy hardware. They need to maintain the property.
That's right.
I say, call, text, email, smoke signals, you'll have it in 2 hours.
2
Guaranteed.
hours. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. Is there a minimum delivery?
No, not at all. I mean, our range is like 20 minutes from the store on a daily basis. it covers 5-7 towns.
Now, when
We're-
people get, is there a box trick that says Goody's Hardware on it? Do they know it's you?
Yes, we have 5 trucks, and many years ago, I saw an ambulance that said urgent response. And if they could be urgent, my vehicles say rapid response.
That's a great answer. I think on the vehicles, there should be a picture of the Katz brothers. What do you guys think? Do you think the Katz brothers should be on these trucks? I think a great photo of the Katz brothers hanging out there for you. By the way, are anybody out there have any kind of questions? Because if you have questions for Robbie Katz, this is a great time to bring it up. He loves to answer questions.
Sure.
And later on, if you hit it on the replay, you can always ask questions later on. Tag him on it. He'll definitely be there to answer those questions as well. We'll find out for you.
So, winter's wrapping up, hopefully. Spring's coming up. What's the first, like, when people start breaking out of that winter doldrum and all of that? What's the biggest thing that
The
they start
first
getting?
thing they do is they clean the yard.
Okay,
That makes sense.
so it's lawn stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
starts going to lawn stuff in April.
Do you, by any chance, have power washing stuff at all?
Yeah, of course you sell
Right,
power washers, lawn mowers.
Oh, wow. So people can start getting all that moss off their house and getting their houses clean. Do not power wash your roof. Eric will tell you all day long, because if you power wash your roof, you're going to destroy the life of your roof. So don't do that.
And you
But
can fall off.
power washing your siding is a great place. What's a fall off, right? Power washing the siding is definitely great. Get all the green moss off inside your house. My wife gets so upset when she drives to the house and she ever sees green moss. And you drive by your house and you see the green moss in your house. It looks horrible in the neighborhood. Your neighbors don't like that. Make sure to power wash your house. So it's easy to rent a power washer.
We sell them. They're very inexpensive. We have
you-
electric or
oh,
gas.
really? No kid. I didn't know you could buy one.
You can buy an electric machine for under $200.
Really? That's pretty cool. And Eric mentioned that springtime is coming. So with springtime coming, you guys should be getting your houses ready for sale if you're not doing it already. So some of the things that people like to do, and most importantly, is probably what?
Paint.
Paint your house. And if you want to buy paint, make sure it's the best. Because if it is, it's going to show so much better. It's going to make your house sell. It's going to be something that it's going to pop. What kind of paint do you
Okay.
carry there, Robbie
We
Katz?
sell the best paint, Benjamin Moore. We've been selling it for 50 years.
Best paint there is in the market. It goes on smooth. That's what I understand because I don't paint. It goes on smooth.
He's got a guy.
You got a guy. As a matter of fact, I got a great guy.
Not the same guy with the saw, but
Not
Yeah.
the same guy. So Benjamin Moore paint. It's thick. It's smooth.
And it
goes on,
lasts.
and it lasts. More importantly, how much is a can of Benjamin Moore paint? And are you running any specials? If you're watching this show, everybody,
Yes. The average gallon is about $40-ish
of
for Benjamin Moore. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a good price for paint.
That's a real good price.
We have going on all year, 23% off for 2023.
Wow.
It is by far the best price in New Haven County.
So that's $40 and 20% off is $8. I can't do the extra 3%, whatever you want to call it. It's another $60. You're looking at about $9 a gallon off of paint.
That's actually with some of the discounts. So
Hey.
it goes for closer to 50, and we sell it for about $40.
No kidding. I was going to say because that's a really good price for paint.
So it's about $40 a
Because
gallon.
I would say the average paint in a gallon has got to be in the ballpark of 30 plus for the generic stuff, I'll call it.
Well,
is that-
in the past it was. Things have creeped up a little bit in the last few
So
years.
you're looking at buying the best paint for the same price of the generic paint.
Correct.
Why would you not buy, number one, Benjamin Moore, and number two, buy from Goodies? Can people have paint shipped to their house?
Locally, if they call, yes.
If they order so much paint? and
Yeah,
you
it
put
doesn't
other
work.
items-
If they're in New Haven County, sure.
That's
We
a
drop
good-
it off.
That's only like 30 towns. That's pretty awesome.
No, maybe 7 or 8 towns.
You heard it first, Robbie Katz. Dave, go to the videotape. All right, so paint. Now we have also in spring comes grilling season.
My favorite time of year is outside on the patio grilling.
Grilling season coming up. So with grilling, the number one supplier Weber grills.
We do over 300 Weber grills a year. They come assembled, delivered locally free within 48 hours.
That's insane.
And disposal of old grill.
Wow. So you dispose the old grill, which is a big part of it, number one. And number two, you come to someone's house, you put it together, you get it to go and show them how to turn it on probably too.
Oh yeah, of course we showed people how to use it.
And
We put the tank on.
And with a tank.
Well, we put their old tank on, and if they buy a new tank, we bring
course.
the new tank, brand new with filled.
Now with tanks, you can go and get a tank. I have what's a tank cost for a propane? I have no idea. A tank that you buy new, does it come full? Is it unfull?
We sell new tanks for $50, brand new and filled.
What?
It's the best
And
price
filled.
around.
And what does it cost to refill a tank of propane?
We have special for $15 a tank.
Now, I I suggest you try and find a better place to get propane filled and for the best price. So the best price for propane, Goody's Hardware, we're looking at
$15.
$15.
But if this season you come in my store and you say, I saw Rob on the podcast with Dave Lamel, we will charge you $10.
And Eric Vasquez.
And
What?
Eric, we will send you.
I was there this time.
Hold on a
You're-
second. If you say you saw this PowerCast, you're going to get that propane filled for $10. Wow. $10.
It's a deal.
$10 to fill a propane tank.
I'll be there tomorrow with my tank.
I can tell you in advance, I know for sure it's at the average place it's at least 20 to begin with. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
And to get it for 15 is a deal. But if you mentioned you saw Rob Katz on the PowerCast, everybody, you take this and you share with every one of your friends and family what just you heard here. Blow his store up.
Yeah, well,
In line.
Big lines.
I want lines of people. We saw Rob Katz on the PowerCast. $10 for my propane for the rest of the year.
Yes.
Is your brother going to get mad about this?
That, he probably will. We might have to edit this, but we'll let it go.
Dave Katz is watching the show. He just blew his top right now. Probably the phone is ringing. Wouldn't be surprised. What are you doing, Robbie?
Yeah.
Okay, $10 for a propane tank, refilled. Unbelievable.
So I'm on the website right now, and on the seasonal,
Yes.
they have air conditioners.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You guys carry air conditioners?
Air
We sell a
conditioners.
lot of air conditioners, window units, portable air conditioners, sure.
Bug repellents.
Bug repellents are important.
They're gonna come out soon.
They're definitely
They're
not
gonna
very
come out
soon.
Charcoal and propane outdoor grills. Later on, it specifies the Weber grills. Deck and patio furniture storage.
Oh, really?
Dehumidifiers. Driveway sealer.
Let's go back to the dehumidifier for 1 second.
So,
Okay.
driveway sealer,
Yes.
is it like an end of winter thing that somehow the driveway gets messed up during the winter and that's why spring comes and
No,
you
it
kind
just
of
they,
seal
you do get cracks in the driveway. Okay, yeah, it does
Absolutely.
break. It does break up. So we have patches, and
Gotcha.
every couple years you should reseal it.
I agree with you 100%. As a matter of fact, because the winter, the ice, on the cold ice and water, blah, 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 cracks the
Yeah, I
stone.
mean, the concrete or asphalt or whatever it is, it's gonna expand and contract, so.
I got a question for you,
Cracks.
Robbie. Speaking of that, you probably have a lot of contractors that come into your place. So that if someone said, "Hey, do you recommend somebody for this kind of work?" Would you be able to hand somebody a name of somebody?
That is a great question. People call us all the time, and they're looking for a handyman, a painter, an electrician, a plumber, and I will only give a number out of someone that has come to my own house because I don't need to hear any problems in the future. So if we get a recommendation, it's someone that we have used ourselves.
That's a very important piece of the puzzle, guys, because if you're out there and you have work you want it done in your house, and it's very tough to find contractors. Not only find a contractor, but somebody's going to show up. Somebody's got a reputation. You can read reviews about people on this kind of format with contractors, but when you get it from the horse's mouth right here, somebody who's actually in their store buying supplies all the time, they know them very well. They're going to be the best source.
Not unlike a belief that we have, because when our clients ask us for folks, we make sure that it's not somebody that's gonna mess up what they want done.
It's our reputation in the line. Absolutely. Going back to before you mentioned the driveways, what did you say before driveways?
Humidifiers.
Dehumidifiers.
Okay, so out there, no matter who you are, if you own a home and you have a basement, you need to have a dehumidifier. Because a dehumidifier is going to pull that moisture out of the basement to help make sure that you don't have mold problems.
That is correct.
And it's important to make sure you have a dehumidifier running. Now, it's not necessarily sure how to make one work. You plug it in, what do you set it at? Is that something you can kind of help people out with?
Of course. I mean, it's very important, David. That was a great question about dehumidifiers. In July and August, and even going into September, the amount of humidity that a standard dehumidifier pulls out of the air could be like a half a gallon a day.
All day long, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's It's crazy.
And it's so important because of health reasons, mold, spores, it destroys sheetrock. You could have all sorts of environmental and health problems by not running a dehumidifier. I tell people they should run a dehumidifier, honestly, between March and April. As it starts to get warm a little bit, get that dehumidifier, plug it in, have it on, let it do its thing, because it's automatically going to work when it needs to.
Finished and unfinished basements.
100% correct. Finished.
Just
and
because you have a finished basement doesn't mean you don't need a dehumidifier.
Absolutely correct. And just because you don't have a finished basement doesn't mean you don't need a dehumidifier.
I see a lot of finished basements that they have this little cabinet hole, this little hole spot,
Yep.
just for the dehumidifier to be inserted into, so it's kind of
Yeah.
blends into the to the atmosphere there.
And if you're lucky and you have a basement system in your house, you can take the tube right into the basement system. Or if you have a slap sink in the basement, or even you could put it into a washing machine where you run the hose into the washing machine to drop the water inside there to help not have to go every few hours or every day to pull the water out.
That is true.
Yeah. What are you going to say with the washing machine?
Well, I don't know about putting it into your system.
Basement system for sure.
No, not the basement system.
Okay.
I'm talking about your plumbing system, your waistline.
Because
the
actually,
water, as I remember from one of the inspections, they said they don't like that going into the plumbing system because that water's high in acid.
is that right?
Because the air has a lot of acid in it.
We'll
So-
have to defer back to Marco and Melanie
Yeah,
in that
that's a
question there.
question. We'll get you guys an answer on
Well,
that.
definitely, that's a great, I never
Yeah.
thought of, I know when it comes
Yeah, it's like
to,
with this water softener
Yep.
and the septic tank.
yes, that one for
Water
sure.
softener, it also softens your septic tank, so.
That's- yeah.
It's not recommended to put out your system.
We'll have to get back to you, Eric makes a good point.
Yeah.
So you carry a lot of great seasonal supplies, especially for springtime. Going back to the outside fertilizer. Now, when it comes to fertilizer, you also talk about fertilizer and also mulch.
Yeah.
And mulch is a big thing that people buy, and they buy it in bulk because, I mean, what an average person, let's say the front of their house has got to be probably 50 to 100 feet of width, I'm guessing, and you got flower beds and all. So mulch is also a great way to keep the bugs away from the house because you're pitching it away and the water from the house and everything else. Is there a certain kind of mulch you recommend you guys sell?
Well, we sell Scott's mulch. It is the best because there's color retention and it doesn't just fade out in a few months.
Long lasting?
Yeah, it lasts the whole year.
That's fantastic. And something like mulch is something that you should. How often does someone turn mulch over? Is it every year?
Once a year.
Once a year. And when they want to buy mulch from you guys, is there a number one color for you, number two color?
Well, we sell, there's three colors, brown, red, black, and some people want like a pine bark.
Interesting.
But most people are buying the black.
The black
And
to
the
us is the number one typically when it comes to popping your property.
Yeah.
If you have a property out there and you have black mulch, it usually pops that property so much. A lot of people have used brown across the years for many, many years. Probably number one seller prior to is brown. I'm gonna be curious as to what is the number one seller to you.
Black.
Black is number one.
Absolutely.
That's probably changed over the last 10 years from the brown. Would that be fair?
Nah, they're black's a little more popular, but they're both very
Very
I would
popular.
imagine the color theme of the house though is gonna dictate.
No, not so
something.
much. Like red is not so popular anymore.
You know, red used to be very popular, and then
in the
pushed
90s,
it.
yeah,
it
very
was
popular.
and it's gone. It's went from red to brown and then black. So I'm gonna say in the last 10 years, black has definitely taken over.
That is correct.
It just makes it. It looks better. It looks prettier. You got a lot of product in your place, Eric. Any other topics over there as far as what they got over there inside the store? Since you're literally on the website.
Well, I'm still on seasonal. You got pool cleaning supplies and
Oh.
equipment.
Really?
So I'm sure that's chemicals and pumps and all that other stuff.
I never knew they had pool supply. By the way, let's talk about the website for a second. What is the website for Goody's Hardware?
The website has a great information. There's also a lot of coupons for the paint.
Oh, really?
Propane. Yes.
What is the website? Eric, do you mind, because you're on it right there, could you read
It's
it?
goodieshardware.com. Goodies, GOODYS, .com. Goodieshardware.com.
Excellent. Go to Goody's
Coupons in
Hardware.
there, but there's no coupon about the $5 off for the refill of the,
So the $10 propane,
so that's a verbal coupon. You have
Yes,
to actually
correct.
say
$10,
it.
Yes.
$10 for propane. Boom. Now, how many propane tanks can you fill at a time?
We do one at a time, but we have 2 tanks, and
No.
and
I mean, if I bring 4 propane tanks, can I get 4 done?
yeah, it takes 2 minutes a tank.
But
got
the
8
point is,
minutes.
I can buy. I can still get the
Of
same.
course,
Oh, it's not
of course.
a maximum. You can.
No.
Fill up. That's important to know. Do you have the ability, and this may sound like a crazy question, to fill up? Do you ever go to people's homes and fill tanks
No.
up? No, you have to.
People have to bring the
It's
tanks.
a
to us.
stationary tank.
Stationary
Yeah,
tank.
it's a big
Okay.
tank.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
U.S., Connecticut, and POW flags.
Yeah.
Really?
So flags.
Yeah, of course. Flags are very popular in the summer.
I
Actually, facilities buy them because any building that has a flagpole, where they're
Mhm.
going to get a flag? They come to us.
Wow. So what
They
kind
don't
of
fly
flags?
They don't fly it year round, or it just gets
No,
tattered.
it gets tattered. Absolutely.
tattered, yeah.
It wins. It rips.
So wait,
it
what kind of
fades.
flags they carry?
U.S., CT, which I'm assuming is Connecticut,
That's correct.
and POW.
Wow, personal war flags. That's pretty awesome. I love it. Supporting the military.
Got to.
I love it.
I don't see a Marine Corps flag in there, but that's fine.
Can you special order flags?
No.
Don't say no. He'll get back to you. You might be able to special order a flag, or maybe a Marine flag or something for Eric Special.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten some people ask for Italian flags and some of those flags, but that's not the norm.
You mean in East Haven they asked you for an Italian flag?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. No
I'm telling
way.
ya.
Come on.
That's the truth.
Of course they asked for these. Come on, it's like a little Italy. Come on, it's a good thing. East Haven flag.
Vinny comes in and asks all the time. And Anthony.
Wait, hold on a second. Let's talk about, are we talking about the same Vinny? How about our friend from, used to be on KC101, who's a very good client of yours.
Yeah.
He's now in WLI.
Yeah.
Vinny Penn.
Yeah, I
The
know. He
man,
comes
Vinny
in.
Penn. One of the nicest guys in the world.
Yeah.
He's hysterical.
Yeah.
You ever watch or listen to his shows on WLI?
Yes, I do.
Every morning he's on there and he is hysterical. What a great guy, great family guy, great kids, great people. A lot of famous people, by the way, are in Goodies on a daily basis, and you'd be surprised to see who's going to walk in the store over there. Of course, throwing some. Sorry.
And
Drink some water there.
Drinking some water out of our Team Powerhouse tumbler over here. Which, by the way, Rob has one of those. He left it at home today.
that is correct.
And I was
got it
gonna-
last year.
Yes, you did. I was going to give him another one. He said, "No, it's okay. I got my tumbler." And,
Yeah.
But anyway, we are now at the point of our show, Rob.
Yes.
First of all, before we end the show, because we've been talking about so much about Goodies, is there anything you want to tell America and the rest of the world? Anything you want to mention to anybody out there who's watching? Because you got TikTok Nation, you got Instagram, you
Well,
got
thank you.
Facebook, YouTube.
Okay.
You've got
Well,
so many people
off the
watching.
cuff, I work in a family business and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I enjoy going to work every day, seeing lots of customers, and I'm a people person, and it's just great to be out in the public.
The people love you. The people love David. The people love your father, Danny, and your Uncle Mike. This place is a family business. How many family businesses are left today out there? Support your family business. Support local. These guys need and appreciate you very much.
So do you know we've been in business since 1933? You didn't even touch upon that.
You know what?
90 years.
1933. We talked about that last time. 90
Anniversary.
years.
Yeah.
It's an anniversary this year. 90.
That's unbelievable. 90 years in the business. And a business in 90 years that has only become more powerful and thriving through all the ups and downs because of you, America. Thank you, Connecticut. Thank you for the people who serve and come to this business and know how much you can trust on them to take care of you from the inside outside. I mean, you really go deep with these guys. Every one of your clients who come to you. And I know so many contractors, and I won't mention names, but hardwood floor guys, painters, contractors, roofer, people come to you because they know that you're the place to go to for their supplies. And they feel something special about giving you that business because of who you and your family are.
Well, thank you so much. sir.
90 years in the business. So everybody, we want to say thank you so much for watching Robbie Katz, the owner and partner of Goody's Hardware, with his brother David and his father Daniel and his uncle Mike.
Yep.
And about 18 employees who are there every day to take care of you.
And my daughters and my
Michaela and
brothers
Gabby.
and Leah
And
my
Leah.
two nephews Brian and Evan that work in the summer and stock shelves.
Listen, you
it's
have
fifth generation.
That's
We're
amazing.
going on.
Wow. Are there like people who are fighting their families? Who's going to be the next one to take it over? I mean, there's got to be some kind of a.
No, I don't think not too many people want to work 70 hours a week.
They're like, yeah, dad, uncle, aunt, yeah, we don't want to do this anymore. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah,
It's a tough business to be working so hard, so many hours, and not many people have what you and your family have been brought up on, if you will, with the kind of work ethic you guys have. But that brings us to our final end of the
We
show.
got today's sponsors, Weber, Benjamin Moore, and Scott's.
All right. Today's sponsor of the show by Goody's Hardware,
That's a
Weber,
joke.
Benjamin Moore, and Scott's.
Just off the website.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. We're going to go to the next part of the show where we give out a free tumbler every week. And if you would like to be on this tumbler opportunity, you've got to let us know. We'll add you to the wheel. Put your hand up. Send us a message. Say, I want a tumbler. I want to be on the spinning wheel. I want one of these beautiful ones. And by the way, the new ones are these tall, slender ones. They come in fluorescent pink. They come in black. Very cool. They're great for ice cold and hot. They're great for alcohol and not, depending what you want to put in it. It's a lot of fun, and it's coming to you.
I think we have somebody who already won because they were on the wheel twice because they subscribed in 2 places. So
Oh.
do we spin again?
Let's spin that wheel again.
All right.
That person's going to be upset, but don't get upset. We'll get you a tumbler.
They really want.
Did Thomason Savings Bank? They're new.
Thomas and Savings Bank, you just won a tumbler.
The whole bank?
The whole staff.
Somebody from Thomas
One
and
bank.
Savings Bank. Whoever's running Thomas and Savings Bank who watches the show, first of all, thank you so much for watching us every week. We appreciate it. When I say to you, or Eric and I tell you how many people watch this show, I don't know if you realize we are all over the state, all over the country, and all over the world. We are in places like Argentina. We are in Peru. We are in Mexico. We are in Canada. We are in Israel. We are in China. I know, it's crazy.
We're in Thomaston.
We're in Thomaston Savings Bank, giving
Yes,
out a
the
free
whole
tumbler.
bank is watching.
So whoever from Thomaston Savings Bank that was on there, let us know who you are. Please reach out to us. We will get you a tumbler. Please, again, we want you to know we really appreciate you every week watching us. Robbie Katz, you are amazing.
Thank you so much for having
You
me.
know,
on,
I don't know who's better at this show, you or your brother. It's a little, the two amazing people from an amazing company. Maybe we'll have Dave come back in a few
All right.
months also and a little bit more what's going on in the business world of Goodies.
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Jody Katz, for allowing this handsome man being here today. And thank you, Gabby Katz, for letting Dad still be here. We're home waiting for you to have dinner. All right? We'll see you guys back. We'll see you back next week.